Well, good morning. Happy Thursday to you. How's your day starting off? If it's, we're going to try and switch that around, right? The positivity is what we bring to you each and every morning. If you are brand new to the show, good morning and welcome aboard. The show is called The Real Monica Adams for a reason, right? We want you to be real, take off all those filters and masks and be your authentic self. So positivity and hope and inspiration and news you can use, what's going on in the world that's going to serve your soul and educate you. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm your host. We're going to bring on two guests today from a real estate standpoint, but also talking about creative gift giving. And we're going to get you ready for something happening this weekend as you get into the reason for the season. I know we're all hustling and bustling, trying to get all the last minute gifts, even decorate, right? I was in Alabama. We have not 1 ounce still of Christmas up in this house. It's driving me a little bit insane. So I'm hoping that's going to happen this weekend. All of you, tell me, do you feel a little behind as you're signing on this morning? It did really feel like this rush to Christmas after coming off of Thanksgiving. It's so tight and so close together. So I feel your pain, but we're going to give you opportunities to get your shopping at least in tomorrow. I can't believe it's finally here. We've been talking about this for a while now. Tomorrow is the big 750th celebration as we get ready for the holidays. We're going to start things off at 9 a.m. at Upshot Coffee. Again, this is in Cottleville, Missouri. And then we go over at 10 a.m. to do some shopping at one of the cutest places, Blooming Daisy Marketplace. And then right after that, we head over and see the girls at Oh My Posh. So 9, 10, 11 o'clock doing some shopping, also having some incredible coffee and tea and food together. It's going to be a great time. So I hope you can join us in person because we have some giveaways to thank those of you that show up for this. If you can't, then be sure to watch either live or a little bit later on so you can see and support these incredible small businesses. And then on tap for today, we're going to talk about the hype of this all. 50-year mortgages. You've heard about it. What is it? Why? Assumable loans and meaningful holiday giving. That's all on tap for you today. But before we do any of that, as you're heading out the door, a lot of you obviously used to tune into the news for one thing in particular, and it was what's going to happen in the weather. A lot of times I thought the weather went on way too long, so we give it to you what you really need. As you head out the door, it's going to be chilly for sure, so bundle up. 22, that's it for a high today. I'm looking outside. It's very gray and very cold looking. 22, partly sunny. 13, 13 for a low tonight. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, 38 down into the upper 20s as we head into the weekend. And then for Saturday, pretty much a carbon copy, 37 for the high, 29 for your low. And then on Sunday, there is a very slight chance right now, and I know we're a handful of days out, but a slight chance of a wintry mix. 33 for your high, down to 20. And then we get into next week and we're seeing this gorgeous warm up. In fact, there were some that I was looking at yesterday that had us even near 50. So would love to see that happen. Monday's high right now is 31. And then we get into the mid to upper 40s, chance of rain, not snow on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, 36 for your high. And then we get into the following weekend, 34. And then by Saturday of the following week, 41. So we're really all over the board. Right now, though, bundle up if you're heading out or you're taking those kiddos to the bus stop or you're rushing them into school. Make sure they've got the coat on. It is going to be a cold one. All right, just a couple of news you can use stories. And we're going to start off with President Donald Trump announcing yesterday a proposal to weaken vehicle mileage rules for the auto industry, loosening the regulatory pressure on automakers to control pollution from gasoline-powered cars and trucks. Now, the plan, if finalized next year, would significantly reduce fuel economy requirements, which set rules on how far new vehicles need to travel on a gallon of gasoline through the 2031 model year. The administration and the automakers say the rules will increase Americans' access to the full range of gasoline vehicles that they need and they can afford. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration projects that the new standards would set the industry fleet-wide average for light-duty vehicles at roughly 35 and a half miles per gallon in that 2031 model year, down from a projected 50.4 miles per gallon under the Biden era rule. So this move is the latest action by the Trump administration to reverse those policies and encouraged cleaner cars and trucks, including electric vehicles, and it sparked criticism from environmental groups. Burning gasoline for vehicles, major contributor to planet warming greenhouse gas emissions. So that is one of the top stories that a lot of people are talking about this morning. And then the other has to do with a recall. 1.5 million bags of shredded cheese sold at Target, Walmart, Aldi, and many more stores recalled for possible metal fragments. So I want you to check your refrigerators this morning. They were sold under dozens of brand names at these retailers. Again, Target, Walmart, Aldi, but there's many others as well. The cheese originated from the Great Lakes Cheese Company in Ohio. The recall affects various brands of shredded mozzarella cheese, also shredded Italian style, pizza style, as well as provolone shredded cheese blends, and then mozzarella and Parmesan shredded cheese blends. If you have any of these products, you are told to either throw them away, or if you want to, you can go back to the store where you were, grab that receipt, return them for a refund. I'm thinking that maybe even if you don't have your receipt, if they know that's involved in this recall, that they'd give you your money back as well. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a comment right now in the comment section. Check that on your phone or on your laptop right now, and you'll be able to see all of the recall. So if you are fearful that you might have this, obviously not wanting to eat something that has metal fragments in it, check what I just put in there, and it'll give you a full list of all the cheeses that are in the recall. All right, how about the Blues back in action coming off of a loss, 4-1 loss. They are now in Boston against the Bruins. The puck will drop at 6 o'clock tonight. Then the Blues stay on the road. They're playing the Senators in Ottawa on Saturday and in Montreal on Sunday against the Canadiens. All right, what is going on in the National Day of Calendar? It's Santa's List Day. All right, make those lists. Check them twice. Cab Franc Day. All right, that's my day. So yesterday was supposed to be Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. I hope you all didn't sign in and go, what the heck, where are you? Chuck with Defiance Ridge Vineyards had to cancel. So we'll be back with him on December 17th. But absolutely, anyone who knows me knows that's my favorite grape. Cabernet Franc Day. Wildlife Conservation Day. Put your socks on. It's National Sock Day and National Dice Day. And I know at least one of my guests is going to enjoy this because she used to make them. It's National Cookie Day. Do you all know that Dot Fleshman, who has been on with us for the last several months, she I know her sister does now, made these beautiful cakes and pies and cookies. And I will never forget the cookie she made when I got engaged and I had our bachelorette party. And it was these cute little cookies that she had. And then for my 50th birthday surprise, she had cookies that were my face. So National Cookie Day today. So you know her name, Dot Fleshman. She is our guest today. We're going to be talking about several aspects of real estate, but also our friendship talk that we love to do. And then she has a guest on with her from Homestead Financial Mortgage, Alicia Bergfeld. They're going to be our guests, and we want you to be as interactive as you can be, or you can just sit and get educated and relax. If you have any comments or questions for Alicia or Dot, this is your show, so feel free to drop that in. If you're new to the show, welcome aboard. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Instagram. So if you have a friend or a family member that doesn't like to be on social media, tell them to come on over to probably Rumble or YouTube. Those would be the best for you. Okay. All right. So you're all up to date in news you can use. When we return, Dot and Alicia are my guests.
I was just on the Real Monica Adams show, and it was really a good experience for me. When I walked in, the building is just peaceful. The environment is beautiful here. Monica really made me feel welcome.
The Monica Adams show allows people to be themselves. It's really important to share kindness, to be real, to offer stories and things that will give people hope and a reason to smile.
Rather than waking up aggravated, disappointed, and wondering, where's this earth going, choose to wake up with something that'll put your mind and your heart in the right direction. Start with Monica.
I like that, Tony. That's right. Start with Monica. And that's how you find us, by the way, on YouTube. Just type in The Real Monica Adams. So good morning to all of you that are signing in this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Karen, Linda, Julie, Sean already saying good morning to their community. All of you, this is your opportunity, again, whether you watch now or you do a little hashtag replay, to ask those questions. And as you're hearing about these 50-year mortgages today, I want you to ask anything that maybe you're fearful of. But today is all about educating. Why, right? After all these years, we've always known about 15 and 30, but 50, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Let's discuss that. Let me bring on my guest. First and foremost, on the bottom of the Brady Bunch square, Fleshman, Coldwell Banker, Gundaker Realtor. And then over here, oh no, it's that way. Over here is Alicia Bergfeld with Homestead Financial Mortgage. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning to you.
Good morning, ladies.
How are you?
Wonderful. I'm so excited for today's talk because there's so much chatter out there about, we've seen it on the news, we've seen it in the paper, we've seen it on social media about this whole 50-year and, what are we going to do? And I thought we'd bring in our professional to really talk about this. I've worked with Alicia a couple of times and she's wonderful to work with and she's totally talented and has all this information. So I'm looking forward to hearing about this.
Absolutely. So, you're absolutely right. So in the news or as you're scrolling on social media, everybody's talking about a 50-year mortgage. And I will tell you this, Alicia, from everybody that's in my circle, they've all been, this is so stupid. This doesn't benefit anybody except for the banks. So 50 years, 600 monthly payments is what that comes out to, by the way. Why would this be a good thing?
Well, the 50-year mortgage is going to be great for anyone who's looking for a lower monthly payment. So I think the reason it's really been in the news a lot is because we're trying to fight affordability. First-time homebuyers the age of first-time homebuyers has gone up tremendously. The younger crowd isn't able to afford to buy. So being able to afford a home, stretched out over 50 years is really something that a lot of people are looking for. It does increase purchasing power too. So those higher priced houses that are just sitting right now, it does help lower those payments where maybe we can get some buyers in there. Also 50-year mortgages, they do help with cash flow. So it allows people with a lower monthly payment to put money back in their pocket, have that emergency funds saved up. But again, 50-year mortgage, if you are interested, it should be a short-term strategy. It's nothing you want long-term. Maybe it's something that helps you get in the house, but eventually you want to get out of it.
And I also was reading and people are saying, okay, well, maybe the 50-year mortgage would be an alternative to renting.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, is renting, when you rent, you're paying someone else's bills, you're paying
Right.
someone else's mortgage. So in turn, you're paying a lot of interest, and that is technically rent. So the cons of that are going to be simple you're going to be paying a lot more interest over the life of the loan, depending on the loan size, depending on your interest rate. I mean, it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars more.
Right. And then there was some things that I was reading that said it's a strategic use, but with caution. Like a borrower could use a 50-year mortgage as a temporary bridge to enter the market with plans to refinance into a shorter term or a lower rate loan in a few years, assuming the financial situation improves and the interest rates drop.
Well, and then the problem too is if the values end up dipping. When you get into a mortgage, you're primarily paying the interest up front. You're not really contributing to your principal. So if values were to dip, you would really not be able to get out of your mortgage because you would not have any equity in the house. I mean, a 50-year mortgage is a very slow equity build. So that's something you need to take into consideration as well.
Again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about our real estate side in the beginning part of this show. And we're doing it today. Normally, Dot's with us in the beginning of the month on Fridays. But obviously, the big show is on tap for tomorrow. So that's why we're doing it on a Thursday. So Alicia Bergfeld, again, with Homestead Financial Mortgage, Fleshman, Coldwell Banker, Gundaker Realtor. We'll give you all the information for these wonderful ladies. Before we bounce back to Alicia for what might be the good side of a 50-year mortgage and the bad side, we're going to keep mixing those in. Dot, how many times have you been asked about this in the last month?
Well, since I got promoted, on television and newspapers and on social media, etc., we do have people asking. Predominantly, it's people who are younger trying to get into their first home thinking, maybe I do this and this is not our forever home. Maybe in the next 5, 7, 10 years, we turn around and we get a different home with some of the equity that we have. At least it gives them an opportunity to get in to a home at the beginning. So predominantly it's been, younger first-time home buyers.
Okay, so again, if you have a question about this, or you know somebody that's buying or selling and they've been asking about whether this is good or bad. So Alicia and Dot, we just went through some of the good. What are the bad? And I'm seeing some information that's saying significant disadvantages. So what would you say, Alicia?
Well, again, the significant disadvantage is going to be that you're going to be paying a lot of interest over the life of this loan. Again, it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars more, depending on what your loan size is and your rate. Also, these programs are not available. They're and if they are, they're just non-QM products, which are usually stricter loan types, and they're more expensive to get. And again, just building that equity very slowly could be difficult if you are going to try to refi. And again, if the values were to dip.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing, significantly more total interest paid,
Correct.
extremely slow equity accumulation, long-term debt commitment, and the potential for market inflation.
Correct. Yeah, I think the 50-year mortgage is supposed to help fight affordability, but I think it's going to hurt our demand issues. So we have a limited supply, and I think we already need so many more houses. So I think with the 50-year mortgage, it does open up more buyers, which again is going to make the supply in demand go up again, just like it did during COVID.
Dad, what do you think the biggest disadvantages are?
My biggest concern, I think, with it all is that there's pluses and minuses to everything. And yes, even in life, you're going to give on something to get something, and in this case, if you can't get in, you might have to give a little bit more because you are paying that interest up front. But I think that there are some other options that are out there. And part of that is making sure that, can we get the rates down? Can they get more homes built? And looking for other avenues to get people into homes. The rental industry is so high right now because people can't buy. So part of that is balancing people from renting who want to buy. They want to start their families. They don't want to start their families in a little apartment. They want to buy a house. They want to have their kids. They want to be in good schools. All of that kind of comes to play. So if there's nothing, that's like that light at the tunnel. And it's not the best idea. It's not the best thing. But come on, you guys. How many times have you bought a pair of boots that were so expensive, Monica?
Hey.
Anyway. Yeah, did it anyway because you're like, oh my gosh, but you think about it at that moment. And if they've looked at houses and they can't get in, I see some people who would take advantage of it. Not that it's even out there yet, but it's the talk about what if and if we could, would it work and would it be beneficial?
So again, we're looking at pros, cons. If you have any questions about the 50-year mortgage, you want to weigh in on it. Do you think it's absolutely crazy, or you think, oh, well, yeah, this might help my kids out? The potential addition of this as a financial option for home buyers, again, could lower the monthly payment. However, it would lead to higher lifetime interest payments and a significantly longer period to generate that equity. So there's pros and cons, as Dot just said, to everything. If you're just tuning in, let me give you all the information on our guests. First of all, Dot, hopefully you know by now, real estate agent with Coldwell Banker Gundaker Realtor. You can find her at .fleshman.com, .Fleshman at cbrealty.com, and her phone number is 314-324-3317. And then our guest today is Alicia Bergfeld, and her information right there on the screen for you. She is, again, with Homestead, and she originally started in the industry back in 2012. So we've got, is the office or the cell number the best for you, Alicia?
Cell phone.
Okay, so that cell phone number, again, if you can't see that on your screen, it is 314-623-5590. So when it comes time for you to say, okay, I need someone in the mortgage industry, you can reach out to Alicia. All right, tell me about Assumable loans. So I don't really know a lot about this. Tell me more about that. And again, is this something just like the 50-year mortgage that's being talked about more now?
So Assumable mortgages have been around for a while, and they're a great they're a great way to transfer assets if you want to do it within family. But also, if you're a seller and you have a 2% interest rate and you would like to generate a little bit more interest in your property, someone could come in and assume your loan. So, assumable loans are just kind of how it sounds. The seller comes in, they take over your loan. So, they get your same rate, your same term, your same balance, and that becomes their loan. The issue that we have with that and why you don't see it as much is because you have to bridge the gap. So if you are selling your house for $300,000 and you owe $200,000 on your house, the buyer has to come up with that additional $100,000 to bridge that gap. So sometimes a lot of buyers, again, they don't have a lot of cash, so assumable may not be the best route for them.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. But assumable loans, they are just the same as traditional loans. You still have to qualify with the bank. You still have to show proof of income. You have to debt ratio. You have to have good credit. And again, you have to have that down payment.
Can you get two loans? Like, can someone assume the loan for the 200,000 and then get another loan for the 100,000?
Yeah, you can get a second mortgage. The problem with that sometimes is the rate on the second mortgage is typically going to be a lot higher, and it's going to be higher than the traditional conventional loan or FHA loan rate. So the problem is that when you blend them, it may not even make sense to blend it because your interest over time is going to be a lot more. And usually, and it depends too, like if you have a VA loan, they may not allow you to have a second mortgage. So it would be the restrictions of the loan as well that you're assuming.
Again, if you're just tuning in, we just talked about 50-year mortgages. If you missed that, go back and watch the beginning of the show. Now talking about the assumable loan. Again, a type of mortgage where the home buyer can take over the seller's existing mortgage and its terms, including the interest rate. So benefits, lower interest rate, lower closing costs, but what are the limitations?
So limitations are it has to be FHA, VA, USDA loan. So those would have to be the original loan from the seller. If you're not a veteran, you can assume a VA loan, but the entitlement stays on that house until the house is paid off. So the veteran who is allowing someone to assume their loan would be out of their entitlement. But yeah, it's a faster process, lower closing costs. Obviously, you're going to assume that lower rate. Hopefully, that's the plan, right? So there are options out there. It's just you have to make sure it's right for you.
Absolutely. And I started hearing about that probably I don't know, a couple of years ago. I heard commercials and I would stop and go, well, that sounds good. And then I'm like, wait, what's the catch on this? Right. Yeah. That's what we always want to know. So again, assumable loans and 50-year. Let me ask this because it came up as a discussion around a Thanksgiving time period. So if someone is in a home, right? So someone passes and then the kids have the loan. And I think we've talked about this in the past. And so you've got somebody who wants of the children, they want to stay in the home, but you don't know, like, how can we afford to pay out the brothers and the sisters and whatever. So Dot, we've talked about a reverse. Can you talk about that today?
A reverse mortgage?
Yes.
Yeah. So a reverse mortgage, basically what it is you're just financing. You're not financing the loan. You're just, hello?
You're here?
My whole screen went off.
Oh, can you still hear us? Because we can see you. Oh, she can't. Dot, so from what you've told us, tell us about a reverse mortgage.
So from what I know on a reverse mortgage, and again, I'd prefer to have Alicia talk about it because I'm not the professional on this, but I have spoken before to other lenders about it. And what can happen is you can have someone who lives in the house, and let's say you have to pay a brother or a sister out. What would happen is you would buy them out by becoming it's I guess it gets complicated on like how much and what percentage and all of that kind of stuff. But part of it is even if you didn't have to pay someone out, let's just say you want a reverse mortgage, you want to buy a house reverse mortgage, you basically buy the house and you're really not making monthly payments. You are borrowing from it. If your house is full and clear, paid, you can borrow from it and live off of those means. And then it's not for everyone, because the challenge is, if let's just say I'm a widower and I have no children, and when I die, my house just goes to whoever is in my will. It's for someone like that can live off of those means, and whatever is left goes to whoever is entitled to, their monies or whatever. It gets a little bit more complicated when you add in a sibling or someone that you have to buy them out and then be able to still live on premise in that house. And then you become the owner of it, the reverse mortgage, but you can stay in that house, but you just are, Alicia, can you hear me?
Yeah. I was just going to say, I'm bringing her back into the conversation. Alicia,
Okay,
so
I'm
you want
sorry,
to
I
add to that?
can't see you, but I can hear you guys.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Can you add to that? What is the reverse mortgage?
So the reverse mortgage is going to be for someone who has a lot of equity in the house, and then the bank will basically pay you instead of you paying the bank. There are age restrictions on that. So assuming it may not be as easy to assume it. Usually when you pass, that's when the reverse mortgage has to be paid off.
So what we were discussing, Alicia, is children that have, they lost their parents, right? And so there's one of them that might want to stay in the home. And so the other ones are like, well, hey, it's all of ours. So what do we do with this? Dot has talked in the past about, well, maybe do a reverse mortgage. And then it was, what's the pros and cons of that? Or when the house gets sold, it's now the bank's, right?
Well, if you do a reverse mortgage, the person assuming the loan, it would they'd have to be 62. So typically, if the children wanted to stay in the house, they would have to do a traditional mortgage to buy that house.
Gotcha. Again, if you have any questions for these ladies from the real estate side, please reach out. We again gave you information on both Dots, and as we'll give you that again at the end, but you can find her .fleshman.com. Or if you need more questions answered, again, in the mortgage side, reach out to Alicia Bergfeld. Again, her phone number on the screen with Homestead. Ladies, before we break and we get into our holiday gift giving and this big nativity awesome thing that's coming up that Dot's always volunteered for this weekend. Anything else on the 50-year, the assumable loans that we didn't touch on that you would like to?
I just want to tell anyone that's looking to get a mortgage, don't be ashamed. If you need a 50-year mortgage to get in the house, get a 50-year mortgage. I don't think that they're the greatest programs, but I think if you want to get in a house and that's the way you need to do it, don't feel ashamed. I mean, there's people that take out 6 and 7-year car loans. People think that's silly, but people do it every day. So don't feel ashamed to do anything that helps you become a better person.
Absolutely. You know what? But we always say this on the show, right? So stay in your lane. Don't worry about what everybody else is saying. All that chatter.
Yeah.
Just you do you.
Absolutely.
Well, Alicia, thank you. I'm so glad. And first of all, I want to tell you thank you for stepping in at the last second, right? We had someone else planned, and we want to wish him the best. So she had another guest on that ended up. Did you say he fell and broke ribs?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. So, Greg, our thoughts and prayers go out to you. I hope you're doing okay. Alicia, thank you for joining the show.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, everybody, stay tuned. Holiday gift giving. And we want you to think well beyond, right, your family and your friends, your neighbors, service, industry, etc. Dot's got so much on that side. When we come back, don't go anywhere. And Faith Berger, one of our sponsors, one of our many sponsors on this incredible show, faithberger.com. You can find her from a design standpoint. You can also go on Instagram, faithberger.art. And then she's involved with Canvas for Kids, wonderful program. Check them out, canvasforkids.org. And on Instagram, canvasforkids1. Again, if you are just tuning in, thank you so much for being a part of today's show. And we just said our incredible sponsors. So please do me a favor and always check down here below. It'll give you great information about things that we're doing, that we're out and about doing. It'll give you email addresses to tell me about a topic or a sponsor idea, a mobile Monica idea, maybe a chef or a restaurant you'd like to have on a Foodie Friday or a Whipping It Up Wednesday, all of that. And then, of course, all of our incredible sponsors. And one of them is our lovely Fleshman, who just quickly changed at the break as Santa. Oh, you're so adorable.
I had to throw in the hat if we're going to talk a little bit about Christmas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before we do that, let me look at comments real quick. Anne said, good morning, ladies. Please stay warm. Monica, thank you for referring Dot to me. Thank you, Dot and Alicia, for helping me find my forever home. I love it, and I am so excited to decorate it for the holidays. So there you go for that. And then Rose said, I'm not a scholar, only had 2 years of college, but I say life is short. Many people are throwing so much out the window in rent, like her son. Is it practical? No, but this gives families and renters a chance to have a real home. And she says happy holidays as well. Julie also said, I love what she said. Don't be ashamed. I think that was a great way for her to end her conversation is, again, right? You do you. Do what you have to do for life.
Right.
So there you go. All right. We're into our second half hour. Now we're time to talk about gift giving. And I'm so glad that you've come up with this list, Dot, because when it comes to gift giving, people sometimes don't think out of the box. It's just right there, what's in front of them. And we're going to go through several people that are around you. But as I say this, I don't want people to think, oh my gosh, now you're adding even more to my list. It's going to break the bank. No, it's not these huge gifts, right? Well, smaller things. So this is the Happy Holiday, the ultimate creative gift guide. Gift giving doesn't have to be complicated. So we've got a guide to creative gift giving for everyone on your list. Okay, where do we want to start, Dot?
Well, throw one up and we'll start there.
Okay, so let's start with the kiddos.
Okay, the kids. So with those, what happens is a lot of times people want to give out gift cards, and gift cards are great, but certain things like little kid gifts. There's these little petite keep trunks, those cute little trunks, the blue and the pink. I mean, you can have those customized for for keeps, like forever. You put things in there that your children can have, when they take with them, those special moments, those special things in life and everything, they get put into these little trunks and they will have them for life. But it's not just for kids. Literally, these trunks are great for everyone. I have one, and when my grandchildren make me these drawings and all these really cool things, I stick them in there and I'll have them. And one day we'll pull them out. And anyway, Petite Keeps trunks. It's a great, and then the other things that are on there are like the craft tray. There's a craft tray for like when you've got your markers and your crayons and all those coloring things, and they're all over the place. You put them in this tray and, you just wheel it to where you're going to do your crafting and your drawing and stuff. And then you wheel it back. And then on top of that, up at the top corner, you'll see it's a sensory dough kit.
Yes.
For like kids, and it keeps them busy, and they're busy the whole time. You've got this hot cocoa, it's just a cute way of presenting like hot chocolate in like a really fun, cute way. We have these little plastic bags at the bottom that you can give with their names on there. And, you can literally put water in there. You can bring them to the beach. You can, whatever, you can rinse them out. They're great, but they're just, and it's like something doesn't have to cost a lot. It just has to be something small. And when you have something personalized, monogrammed or whatever with their name, it just says you spent a little bit more time. However, some of these things you got to get going on like now.
Exactly, because your time's running out. And if you do have it customized, it's going to be harder to get back in time to put under the tree that Santa delivered. Can I just go back to this for a second? So do you see the name that's on the bottom right? It says Miles. Did you
Miles.
see that? That's my dad's name.
Oh, it is.
I was like, oh, I know, right?
That's one of those little winks right there, Monica.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the first thing I saw. I'm like, oh, that says Miles. You also just said the sensory dough kits. Tomorrow at our 750th celebration, there are so many ones that are at Oh My Posh. So if you're going to get them, I'd love for you to support the ladies at Oh My Posh tomorrow. And they have those, and they're so super popular. And yes, and they do a bunch of customized stuff as well. So if you haven't thought of these ideas that Dot just gave you for kiddos, tomorrow come by and you'll be able to see a lot of those. So yes. Anyway, if you're just tuning in, Fleshman, we talked our real estate side. Now we're into the creative gift giving. Okay, we took care of the kids. So
Okay.
from the kids to the teachers, what should we get our teachers?
Okay, so for teachers, there's some really fun things. One is like pizza night. You get them plates, napkins, and like a little gift card to Domino's, and let them have a really fun gift, or pizza night for themselves. You can do these mugs that you can put some fun items in. Just some like little things like candy canes and just some like little stocking stuffer things, but you put them in a mug. And they need these mugs. They can't step away when they're with the kids all day. And so they need to have them. And more than one is probably best. They don't get a chance to, like I said, walk away. At the bottom of that, you'll see these monogrammed tote bags. They're all the rage that everyone's got right now, and everyone wants them. And it's like you can use them for your groceries. You can go to the store with them. You can put them in your trunk so things don't roll around. You carry stuff like your school supplies. I mean, they're really great. Teachers would love those. And then gift cards, like teachers love like this little bag at the very bottom. Like they love gift cards, but if you give them some school supplies, plus gift cards. I mean, they just don't have enough. Teachers need so much. And little things like that would be really great to just say thank you, to all our kids' teachers.
Agreed. And please do not forget them this time of year. Well, period. Anytime. Don't forget them. But it would be really, really cute if you go out and you help your kids hand pick something or hand make something for them as well. Put that in there, have their signature from it, right? To personalize it. But I love that. And then they'll smile every day. So yes, you're so correct that they can't break away. I don't even know how they go to the bathroom.
Honestly, and they need so much. And think of teachers, but think broader. If you're working in an organization and you've got someone who's a trainer who's training you on something, your trainer is your teacher. So something for them is also would go well, great this time of year.
Right. Any kind of coaching aspect. Okay. So we ran through the kids, teachers. Do not forget your in-laws.
So on the in-laws, there's a couple of things. This Mackenzie Child's little tea kettle, and you can get them
That's adorable.
Some tea to go along with it. So just a little kit, like something like that. Underneath the Mackenzie Child's tea kettle are these upscale games. So Clue and Candyland and Monopoly, but they're made into these beautiful upscale that you can put them on your bookshelves. It looks great, but then it's still a fun game. And then you've got a golf basket, put everything golf in there, anything to do with golf, whether it's, your gloves, the balls, the tees, all of that. It's a great, just little kit for someone who's a golf, what I don't even know.
Enthusiast? Yeah.
Enthusiast. Yeah. I'm not a golf person. I'm not even sure what you call them, but golf is just too much work.
Maybe you could do a pickleball basket because that's really popular right now.
Oh, gosh, that would be fun. You see these little pickleball earrings everywhere and all that stuff. And maybe if you really know this person, this is like for your in-laws. So if you know them and you know their size, maybe you can get them some attire that goes along, whether with the golf or the pickleball or whatever. But this really great kit up on top is the monogrammed wine bag. It's so cute. You get it monogrammed. It says, I gave you some attention. I put your name on there. I got your two favorite wines. And you got these monogrammed glasses that go along with it. It's a nice, cute little kit. You can really think outside. And it's not just, sometimes year after year after year, we get bored of like, what do I get this year? What do I get this year? What do they need? And everything is about what do they need? Guess what, you guys? No one needs anything. Right. We are all fine. We can all get our own gifts. It's really about the fact that we thought about something and it was very special and it was very different and it came from the heart.
And so Tessa's barking in the background saying, don't forget the dogs.
Don't forget the dogs. Don't forget the dogs, right.
Which is actually very true, right? So for all of you that are thinking about, this is the extra thought. And I will tell you, as someone who was never blessed with children, my friends, my family, actually even old boyfriends, when they would come to the house and they would give a small little gift, whether it's treats or it's a little ball for them or whatever, it warms our hearts because we're pet mamas, right? And so people always think, oh, you get stuff for the kids, but those are our kids. So right. The biggest thing that I hope you hear in the message today is think out of the box and be very thoughtful. I do want to touch on this before we move on to your neighbors and your coworkers. when you're giving alcohol, make sure that you know that the person actually drinks, which means you actually listen to them, right? The whole aspect of giving is that you know more about them. There's this big movement, as you know, of people going sober curious or sobriety or whatever. So if they don't drink, then think out of the box and maybe put together like a cute little mocktail gift. Just
Yes.
know your audience is what I'm going to say, right? Know your audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a great point, because one of the things is I'm not a big red wine drinker.
I know
mean,
that.
I like wine, but I do like chilled wines, and I like white wines better.
Yep.
Sweeter, if anything. But it's but I do like, I'll have a glass of red wine. It gives me headaches. It's not my favorite, but
Right.
I know that's your favorite.
But see, and then that's what I was just going to say. So as friends, I absolutely know that you would prefer not to have red. I would maybe give you like a little basket with some vodka and some mixers or whatever, right? Something that your friend or whoever's on your list loves. Instead of giving them like, hey, I got a bottle. I'm running out. And that means you weren't thinking about that. I'm going to put something in a bag really quick and I'm going to give it to her. And she'd be like, I don't really like red wine. I'll probably open this for somebody else, right? So think about who's on your list. Okay, we are going to move on to your neighbors, your coworkers. Don't forget about them.
Yeah, your neighbors, they're always, sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but we're always asking our neighbors for, some help. We're like, hey, we're out of town, or can you, or we're at an event. Can you like let our puppies out to go potty and all those kinds of things? So we do want to be gracious and get them a nice little gift. So starting up at the top, we have this really fun cookie baking kit, literally everything in there. And that's great for someone who's young, just starting out, like a new neighbor, because everything is right there. You got your whisk, your everything, your the cookie mix, everything is all in one. It's not going to cost you but less than $25. It's a great little kit to get. Right next to that is these monogrammed tea towels. That's for someone who's a little upper end, high end, like my friend Beth Ann. She's so wonderful. She's always got these parties and everything's always decked out. This would be something perfect for her, because she has everything else. And then right next to that, you've got like your pasta strainer. It's like a whole pasta kit. How fun is that? Again, a new neighbor or whatever, but still everyone can use a new colander. We get a pretty towel to put with it and all of that. You're not even looking at, you're looking at $30 maybe, something fun. And then when you come down from there, you've got a little kitchen towel with an olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't been to Kirkwood's, got this really cute little shop that's like all these olive oils. So you just put something cute like that together. It just says, this is a great olive oil, this beautiful towel, maybe with a monogram. And then underneath that, you see these wine carafes that you can put like a beautiful monogrammed towel. If you've never been to the Cat's Meow has all these specialty towels that you can put like initials and monograms. You can have them monogrammed, or you can just grab one from there that's got your last name, a little Q on there, and you put it on the inside of this wine carafe and put a wine in there, or their favorite vodka, or their favorite whiskey or bourbon or whatever. So,
and let me tell you, that would be big, because if you go to a regular store and try to find a Q, you're not going to. I've asked so many retailers, where's the Q? You have forgotten about the Q. It's not a common last name or even, I guess, first name with a Q. So they don't even carry them. You have to get it monogrammed. I'm just letting you all know that. It's hard. So when I was Adams, it was easy. A's are everywhere. But
right.
Q's are hard, by the way.
Right.
So olive oils, you just said there's a place in Kirkwood. There's a place in Maplewood called Vom Foss that is unbelievable, with balsamic vinegars and oils and then all these different liqueurs. So shout out to Vom Foss. That's an opportunity for you to maybe go there as well. Okay, and then there's one more on the bottom left.
So game night with pizza night. So basically it's game night, but you attach like a Domino's pizza gift card, and they can have pizza night. It's mom's night off. It's dad's night off. It's like, they get to have pizza, game night, and just have fun and just let loose. And I just think it's just like a fun thing, and maybe find some, I know these are some basic games and maybe everyone's got Monopoly and everything, but maybe go out to Target. It's got so many games. I was standing there looking at, I'm like, I've never heard of half of these games, and they sounded so fun. So I was kind of picking the ones that I haven't heard about to try them out.
Yeah, and it brings you back to a simpler time. It brings you back to your childhood, maybe. And it's, oh my gosh, I haven't played this in however many years. Get back together. And then maybe it's also a way, if you are new to a neighborhood, you're giving that to someone that's a neighbor or a coworker. And suddenly you start this friendship because you never really had a chance to really talk very much before. So people that are brand new to a neighborhood, it's always hard, right? To be like, do I fit in? Well, that's just the extra. I'll never forget, and our neighbors, we are so blessed with every neighbor in our, we have a smaller private neighborhood. There's like 10 people in this whole subdivision. I'll never forget when we first moved in and our neighbors came and brought us some, homemade cookies and whatever, and just welcoming us to the neighborhood, which I will never, ever, ever forget. And then you're right, because those neighbors do something for you. Shout out to Scott Holman and his wife, Michelle. While we were in Alabama and the snow fell, he brought his 4x4 up and made some tracks so that we could get up the driveway. So,
Oh my gosh, that's
right?
awesome.
Yes.
So
So
nice.
kindness, right? Don't forget that. And then
Yes.
again, it could be your neighbor, it could be your coworkers, just something extra just to say thank you. Okay. And then the last one, service people, please do not forget those that serve you.
So, you've got so many people. You've got your hairdresser, you've got your mail carrier. You've just got so many people that you can, work with, the school bus driver, your nail tech, whatever. And, it's always just a little something. I'm going to start in the middle just because it's so fun. But there's a little card that's attached to this whisk. And on this whisk, it's like one of those like whisks that you can put stuff in there. And it says, "We whisk you a Merry Christmas." And you put little Hershey's Kisses in there. I mean, you can have this card made in 2 seconds flat. You can make it online and you can go have it printed or handwrite it on a really cool, like the back of a label of some sort, like a Christmas label. Just write something cute on there. But that is fun. And then they've got the Good Hair Day bag. That's great. Every hairstylist wants, everyone to know that, they had a great hair day. Down below that, there's this little gift. It's a Christmas wish for you is a few less dishes to do. And what it is, it's a bunch of plates and napkins and cups, etc. And that is something for like your service provider, your mail carrier, your school bus driver, like all these people who are so busy by the time they get home, they don't want to do dishes. It's a fun little thing that just says, "Hey, I'm thinking about you. You'll have your dinner and then throw your dishes away." And then, of course, we have like stovetop potpourri, this cute little ornament that you can make with like the name of the bus driver. Like if your kid's bus driver, this is something that's so easy. You go find a favorite ornament and you get ones that you can use markers on and you just put their name on there or have it, you can go online and have it custom made. And then above that, of course, is like these cute little Aveda hand relief with these little polishes. It's not probably going to go to your nail tech because that's what they do, but maybe to someone else that's besides a service. Service people can be so many people that you do business with. Depending on like where you go, it can be like your dentist if you have to go there a lot, or wherever. So it's just these like little ideas. And going back to the plate idea that you said, Monica, is this is such the best time. It's gift giving time, and it's about love and hope and just welcoming people and everything, is to get a beautiful, they have so many plates out there. You can go get a cute Christmas plate and you put these little cookies on there. And since you brought up cookies, I just wanted to share these beautiful little cookies. This adorable cookie.
That is awesome.
So cute. So we have Mr. and Mrs.
Oh, those are
Aren't
beautiful.
they adorable? And then look at this one. I mean, this was just as like a hunter's dream.
Okay, that's too beautiful to eat.
So the tagline of the cookie business is "Take a picture, eat the cookie." Because my mother has these cookies in her curio cabinet because she says they're too cute to eat.
They're gorgeous. Wait, let me see that one.
This is a little candy cane, but it's not a candy cane. It's literally the cookie, but that's how it looks. It's like a little candy cane. It's kind of hard to do this here.
Oh, yeah. No, that's beautiful.
And then wait until you see this cute little angel, this beautiful angel.
They're so gorgeous.
And then there's a little boy and a little girl, but I just grabbed the little girl just playing snowball.
Oh,
Snowball cookie. And then, of course, we can't forget good old Rudolph,
I better not forget Rudolph and his little nose.
I mean, these cookies are amazing. They're so gorgeous. And if anyone's interested in beautiful cookies,
Where can
there's
we get
no
them?
time to get some in. You just contact me and I'll contact my sister,
Okay.
who has taken over the baking business.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know that side of Dot, she did that for a long time, but obviously now she's doing incredible. And we're going to talk about that before we go into the nativity scene about what has sold, what hasn't, because we didn't get a chance to do that when Alicia was on. But yes, I want to give you the information so that you know where to reach out for the cookies. Dot's phone number right there on the screen, 314-324-3317. They are incredible, Julie, by the way. They are. Not only do they look amazing, they taste amazing. So if you don't want to do the baking and you would like to support wonderful Dot and her family, just reach out to her and say, hey, I want that. That Mrs. Santa Claus, by the way, is beautiful. It looks like it's you. Before we take a break, let's talk about this. So how many sold and buyed and a pending do you have right now?
Yeah, so last month, 3 were sold, and then we went under contract with 2. So these 2 are this one was sold. The first one was sold for my client who lives in New York, and the one that's under contract is my client who went under contract last month, but we're going to get to close this month. So she's going to be in her new condo for Christmas. I'm so excited for her.
That's huge.
And then this one is the first one that just got sold is my client in New York again. And the next one is my favorite client. He's so wonderful. We had a little bit of a language barrier, but boy, did we get through it. And he finally got into his home that he is actually renovating to get others to move in. He's such a big heart. I mean, just what he's doing is amazing.
I love it. And what's this house?
This is a house that is actually under contract. So we're hoping that we'll close at the end of this month, if not early next month.
Congratulations, always doing amazing things. Again, just like Anne had said, she loved being introduced to Dot. We keep saying this. Remember her name for your friends, for your family, for your coworkers. If you suddenly hear, hey, I'm thinking of selling or I'm thinking of buying a home, that's where I want you to go. Oh, I know somebody for you. So that's when you want to throw out Dot Fleshman's information, fleshman.com. All right, my friend, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, she told us about this last year, and it warms my heart. It's out in St. Clair, Missouri, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to put this on the calendar. If you've got something going on this weekend, then maybe share that with other friends so that they can know about this. You are definitely going to want to put this on the list because this puts you into the mindset of the true reason for the season. So don't go anywhere.
Wow, I just got off live with the real Monica Adams. What a wonderful experience. I don't watch news because of all the negativity that it brings and the way it drives me emotionally to a place I don't really like to feel. So to be a part of a show that has a sole purpose of bringing positivity to the community, and then with the desire to just build people up, it has been one of the greatest joys, one of the greatest experiences that I've had a chance to be a part of when it comes to being a guest. This studio, it is fantastic. As I watched my show before I came in, I saw the lighting and I was impressed by the way this room is lit, but it is so warm and comforting to be in here. Whether you're a guest or a viewer, this show is a must watch, a must be a part of, and just continue doing great things out there, Monica. You are changing lives every day.
Welcome back to the show. And by the way, that was my neighbor, Scott. And you hopefully saw his show. He was so good. We have to bring him back on. So he's an incredible human being on so many levels. If you're just tuning in, you've missed out on our real estate talk. There's so much. We talked about 50-year mortgages, assumable loans, reverse mortgages. We also talked about creative gift giving. And now we're going to get into something that maybe if you're looking for something to do this weekend for you, your family, definitely the kiddos, I want you to think about bringing them to this event, which Dot's been involved with for a while. It is the Journey to Bethlehem, experiencing the awe of this interactive live nativity. And if you've never had a chance to see something like this, you have to put it on your list. So it's tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Dot, how many years have you been involved in this?
So probably the last 5 years. However, this year I'm going to miss it just because we have to be in Kansas City. However, it is. I'm so sad that it just worked out the way that, I'd have to miss it to be in Kansas City. We couldn't make it work any other time, but I'm going to miss it. And the thing is, I love it every single year. It's a live nativity. It is out in St. Clair. And what it is it's basically you walk through the events that led up to Jesus' birth. You're going to meet shepherds. You're going to meet the wise men. You're going to encounter Roman soldiers. You're going to interact with adorable nativity animals. It's a 30-minute interactive experience that will transport you back to the night that changed everything. Right. And everything, it's all about Jesus. And what happens is you walk through as if you were living during those times, and they're going to stop you. The Roman soldiers will stop you. They'll ask you for your papers, because in today's day, it's a driver's license, right? But back then you had to have papers to go to cross, through little counties. And you walk this walk, and you stop at all these little placements that basically you learn about what happened back in those days until you get to the manger where, Jesus is born, it's the experiences, and you're outdoors. So bundle up, because it's outdoors, you're walking. Now, I will tell you, they do have a little golf cart for people who can't do a lot of walking. So they'll take you, through that. But you take the kids, you go there. The little ones, it's free for 0 to 4 years old, because they don't really understand what's going on. It's like $12 for adults, $7 for children. But you walk it, you get through there, and as you're walking, you're experiencing that. You see the live horses, you see all the animals that were back in those days. And then when you end, there's a marketplace that you can go in. You can buy little gift items so that you can remember the night that you were there and everything that has to do with this live nativity. But the journey to Bethlehem it was huge, that night, and it is still today.
Oh, absolutely. And this is the biggest thing. And I'm glad we're doing this part at the end before I read our devotional, because I don't want you to forget that. We talk about kindness, and I'll read this comment that I saw come in a little bit earlier. Yes, my show is all about kindness. And I know you're all rushing around and you're thinking of Santa Claus, but do not forget the reason of the season. For unto us a child is born. I'm watching The Chosen. I put it on pause for a little bit. We brought it back last night. It just warms my heart. And we just see all the things that Jesus did for us, laid down his life for us, and then rose again. And it's just incredible. So we celebrate his birthday, right? And before that happens, you get an opportunity to walk through 7 immersive stations filled with ancient items, interact with the wonderful nativity animals. You encounter, as Dot said, fierce Roman soldiers, meet the shepherds, the exotic traveling kings, journey to Bethlehem to see the newborn king. Tomorrow night, Friday night, 6 to 9 p.m., Saturday, 5 to 9 p.m., Sunday, 5 to 8 p.m. By the way, I just dropped into the comment section the website where you can purchase your tickets.
Right.
So since you've been involved with it, Dot, what do you hear from the people that go? What do you hear from the kids? I would love to know about the kids.
So you just hear so much. First of all, you've got the adults who know what they're up against, but they don't, because you read it and you see it, you're reading your Bible, you're watching TV, but when you're there, you're actually experiencing it. The guards are like playing out the parts of what a real guard would say to you back in those days. And so when you get to all these little, these little placements, I'm not sure what they're called, but these little structures, they're acting out everything about what you would have done back in those days. Is when you get to the 3 wise men, when you get, when you see Gabrielle, and just all of this, by the time you get to Mary and Joseph, who traveled so far and had to have their baby, it's just, it's great. But the kids, what they love are all the animals, and they have a real camel. I was not looking up. Did you show the camel?
The camel. Well, let me go back through the pictures that you gave us.
Maybe you did. I was looking down, but anyway, they have a real camel,
Yep,
and it's right there, and he's beautiful, or maybe it's a she. I'm not really sure. it's a she. She's got purple on. Uh, but it's just like the kids love all of that, and they get to experience it. And then and because it's it's interactive, that they really enjoy it.
And then there's free pony rides.
There's free pony rides as well.
And unlimited hot chocolate. I mean, come on. So we were talking about the weather trying to warm up just a little bit, but do dress appropriately. Parking's available. As she said, limited golf cart chauffeurs are available for handicap. Otherwise, outdoor walking, appropriate for all ages. And an extra perk each night. Joy FM will be in person on Friday. Camelot the Camel is there Saturday and Sunday. So much to be thankful for. So much to go out there for.
Right. You will not be disappointed. Everyone that talks about it, I've had friends go and they loved everything about it, because again, you're outside under the stars, and it's just the feeling. And it's everything about this season, Monica, that we've talked about is all about what you talk about. Be kind, love one another, give grace, do something for someone, be a giver. This is the time of year to give. It's like, I don't even want to get, I just want to be the giver. I want to be out there, to my clients, to my friends, to my family. And a lot of that is just being gracious. And you did mention when you're at the stores, there's a lot happening, right? There's long lines, etc. If you see someone who's just, a little bit less fortunate, they're standing up with, just let them go first. It's just, this is the time of year to show grace and to show love and to be kind.
To be exactly. That's how we end the show, right? To be kind. So again, the Journey to Bethlehem Outdoor Live Nativity by Eternal Promises Church. Yes. It is eternalpromises.org/journey, but I did drop it in the comments just to make it easy for you. 30-minute interactive experience. Tickets, $12 for adults, $7 for kiddos. If you have kids under the age of 4, they're absolutely free. So something for you to think about and to support. I absolutely love that. All right, folks. So, Dot, I know you said you are heading out to Kansas City, so you can't come to our big 750th show, which I'll wrap up here with, but you will be at Christopher's next Friday, the 12th, yes. Right?
Yes. And I wanted to throw a shout out to Christopher's. I went there, and I got to tell you, I think I stayed for 2 hours. It's
easy to do.
Good. The music was great. Everything about it. I walked away with a little suede jacket, a little fur vest, a leather dress. I mean, I literally walked away with so much stuff. And of course, I bought some gifts for people too. But it's, you guys, if you haven't been there, it's so fun. He's the best. And of course, I went back a second time, and there he was with his smiling face, Mark. I was able to see them. I guess I will be there next Friday.
Yeah. So by the way, if you don't know about this is our big holiday show that we do with Mark Anthony's and Christopher's combined. It's STL Gift, right? So it's Kirkwood, right across from the Kirkwood Farmers Market. Christopher's, wonderful premier destination for gifting and accenting your life. Be kind, gift kindly. That is what I love. Our brands are just perfect together. So our Mobile Monica is live next Friday, December 12th. 7:00 in the morning, and we are allowing a handful of people to come. Dot's one of the chosen. So if you think you want to come to this during the live broadcast, you got to let us know, because he's not typically open. But he's like, hey, if some people want to come, yeah, what the heck? We'll go ahead and allow that. The Kingsbury Place singers are going to put us in the mood as they do their incredible caroling. You're going to love it, my friend. It's going to be so amazing. Okay, and then we are continuing into next year. Yay, first of all. So Dot is coming back with us in January. So January, what are we going to talk about?
I have it written down here. So what are we talking about? Oh, New Year's resolutions. That's right. So one of the things I've been doing some research on is New Year's resolutions, and do they really work? And spoiler alert, they don't, kind of. But we're going to talk about ways for them to work. And I think that's just about doing it right. And I think people just do New Year's resolutions wrong. But if you plan for it, it'll work.
Again, so I like for everyone to be thinking right now, December 4th, why put it off for another month? Just start doing the things that you want to do. Stop thinking that we have endless time on this earth. I don't want to say that for everybody to be like, oh my gosh, well, that's dark. No, but it's real. It's reality. And so that means I just want you to live your best life every single second of every day. So if you want to do a workout program, start now. You want to eat better? Start now. You want to spend more time with family and friends? Start now. Better finances. You want a new home? All those things. Just start chipping away at it now instead of waiting another 30 days, which is what I never understand. Just live your best life. Okay, before we wrap up, Rose said if my husband thought Santa looked like Dot, he'd be more into Christmas. Babs, good morning to you. Stephanie said, I have the best neighbors. Great gift ideas. Thank you for the tips. All right. Monica is all about extending kindness when you remember someone who didn't expect anything from you, no matter if it's inexpensive or not. They love that you remembered them. Yes, 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 Rose. So very true. Especially if it's just a little something, not to make them feel like they should have given you something. Sometimes I give little items that belong to my mom. I tell them it was hers. I loved her, and then they feel loved and honored. Oh, absolutely. Don't shut up, Rose. Those are really good things. And I love that you pass that along. Julie said those cookies are amazing. Latanya said those cookies are definitely a cute treat for gift giving. Agreed. Yep. So Stephanie says, does your sister make nut rolls and poppy seed rolls?
I will find out. We'll connect.
Yep. So Stephanie, she'll let you know, and then we can get you all connected up. Dad, my friend, I love you, and have a safe trip to Kansas City, right?
Yep, Kansas City.
Anything special there?
We're going to go see his uncle, and then we're going to do a little Christmas shopping.
Very good. I love it. Well, safe travels, and I cannot wait to give you a big hug and see you at Christopher's next week.
See you next week.
All right, my friend. Love you. We'll come back and we'll do the devotional, and then we'll talk all about the big show on tap tomorrow. Bye-bye. And shout out to Crunch Fitness. Again, I just mentioned New Year's resolutions. So if you're looking for a gym to join, I'd love for you to support Crunch because they've been a part of our show for the last 6 months. Again, they've got a location in Florissant. They have a location in the St. Peters area, in Baldwin, and Fenton. If you've been driving around Fenton, Missouri, and you're like, hey, that was the old Gold's Gym. What's going in there? And you see the sign, it says Crunch coming very soon. So in the next few months, you'll be able to work out in the Fenton area. Remember, if you have someone that you think would like to be a part of our show, would like to be a sponsor, have them reach out to me, info@therealmonicaadams.com. I had a ton of meetings as we were heading down and back from Alabama of people saying, yeah, I'd love to know more about this. I think I'd like to start a new segment, or I'd like to be a part of a segment. I love that. So as we go into 2026, I'd love to introduce more and more new sponsors that want to brand their brand with our brand of kindness. Also, these mobile Monicas, super popular. So we've got the big one tomorrow, the 750th celebration, the big holiday show, multiple locations that we will be at for this. And that starts off with Upshot Coffee. So if you're looking for breakfast, you want to have a cup of coffee or some tea, just want to stop by, give us a hug for the holidays. I would love that. I really want to meet as many of you as I can that have been part of you, Monica's Maniacs. So shopping, food, galore. So again, we start off at 9 a.m. So no 7 o'clock show tomorrow morning. Okay. Stress that. So if you look for us at 7 o'clock, we won't be there. 9 o'clock, broadcasting from Upshot Coffee in Coldwell, located on Highway N. 10 o'clock, we go over to Blooming Daisy Marketplace, which is right behind Upshot. And then at 11 o'clock, Oh My Posh, located on State Route N in Coldwell. That's the big show tomorrow. And then again, December 12th at Christopher's. And then I can already tell you February 10th, Apricot Lane Boutique. Put it on your calendar. I want to get a group of girls to get out there and shop. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll be with Monica Lynn. Yes, I'm Monica Lynn. So is she. I just think it's the funniest thing. So we'll be shopping together and showcasing Apricot Lane Boutique. And then there's a handful of others, and we're just securing their dates. So I love it. So many people coming on board because it's kindness breeding kindness, right? Small business supporting small business. Blooming and growing together. So let's read from this 365 devotions for the gardeners at heart. Let's see, where are we? So, oh my goodness, I cannot believe it's December 4th. December 4th. And this one is ever present. Okay, be strong and courageous. Don't fear or tremble before them, because the Lord your God will be the one who keeps on walking with you. He won't leave you and he won't abandon you. That's Deuteronomy 31, verse 6. In December's long, dark nights, things unseen last winter slip quietly back into the landscape. Leaves dropped and went whirling in autumn gust, leaving a backdrop of angular limb shapes and tree lines tree lines your eyes trace upward. A red-crested woodpecker, bright robin high in the tree, catch your eye, bright as poppy petals perched on tall stems. You trace dark trunk lines down to the bare roots and the soil. They hide the mainstay of the growth, belied by their umber silence. The vigor of earthly life may elude your grasp through wintry stretches long enough for you to doubt vibrance will ever return, right? The darkness, it's not always going to stay that way. Brightness will come. But God, your source, cleaves to you perpetually. Your tear swollen or joy creased eyes can't endure his image, so his word and spirit buoy you. At times, you've felt his arms, heard his voice palpably. You relish these and the morphing of things earthly in his hands because life is hard, confounding, even painful. I suspect God relishes your surprise and delight at good things tangibly, if slowly revealed to you. Your longing for fortification hidden just out of your sight or your reach indicates your maturing vision for things better and lasting. Give yourself space and time to lean into him when goodness seems fleeting. Your life is held most caringly, your perception of his abiding presence sharpening until Christ returns. So one to grow on. Consider how Moses, Joshua, Hannah, Elijah, Ezekiel, Simon Peter, and Paul uniquely experienced God's presence. How has God chosen to let you know that he's present for you? Through the sunlight hours are fewer and days dimmer right now, I know that you, Lord, are fully engaged with me today, reinvigorating my soul with your love and joy. Amen to that. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you if you were watching live or you watch this later on replay. Can't wait to see you tomorrow morning. One more time, no 7 a.m. show. 9 a.m. till about noon. We are shopping, we're eating together, and we're sharing joy together. Thank you all so much. Have a beautiful day, and remember to be kind. God bless you all.